Happening now in Collin County, opening statements in the track meet stabbing trial as debate rages over how the jury came together. Thanks for being with us this midday. I'm Kara Sewell. This is what we have followed very closely from the beginning. Carmelo Anthony accused of killing Austin Metcalf last spring at a high school track meet, and now the jury starts hearing the case. Janelle Ford is live at the Collin County Courthouse with the latest. Okay, Janelle, what's going on?
Well, Kara, here outside of the courtroom, it's been fairly quiet throughout the morning. Only a handful of people have been gathered at the back of the parking lot. And then inside, the first witness has already taken the stand in this case. And remember, there is no audio, there's no video, no live stream of this trial. So we are relying right now on our team of journalists and legal experts inside of the courtroom to keep us updated throughout all of this. So I want to walk you through what this morning has been like so far. It started with opening statements after a number of pretrial motions, and each, the defense and the prosecution, got about 20 minutes for those opening statements. It started with the prosecution, who called this a, quote, unjustified, provoked murder, and told jurors Anthony plunged a knife into Austin Metcalf's heart and ran away. Now, the state said surveillance video from the track meet will be important, telling jurors that the video tells the story. Prosecutors said Anthony went to Memorial High School's team tent during the rain, was told to leave, then taunted and provoked Metcalf before stabbing him. So then next, we heard from the defense. They told jurors that there has been a lot of noise around this case, a lot of false information. They described Anthony as a son, a brother, a 3.7 GPA student athlete. The defense said Anthony went under the memorial tent to get out of the rain, knew people that were under there, and that things were initially calm. Now, Mike Howard, Carmelo's defense attorney, said the video will show some things, but it won't show everything. And the defense said Anthony told Metcalf, quote, as long as you don't touch me, we're cool, and argued that Metcalf made the first physical contact. Now, Howard said Anthony acted in fear and chaos. We also learned that Anthony suffers from epilepsy. So then the first witness was called to the stand. That's Mark Porter, a forensic video analyst from Tarrant County. Inside the courtroom right now, both families are seated. They're on opposite sides. We also got our first look at the jury. The panel appears to include at least 9 women, several people of color, including a woman that was wearing a hijab. And then remember, there were questions about demographics of this jury panel yesterday. So what's happening next? Court is going to go on until lunchtime. They'll take a break, and then we'll continue until 6 o'clock this evening. I'll send it back to you in the studio.
Thank you for the insight and the update, Janelle. From start to finish, we are bringing you complete coverage of what's happening inside the courtroom. Make sure to watch after the trial on WFAA+. Our team is breaking down the latest developments of each day in court. That's at 8 p.m. tonight. New at midday, Dallas City leaders plead with the Mavs to stay in downtown. That comment coming in a press conference about 2 hours ago. Council members stressed that the Mavs economically benefit the entire city, not just downtown. Earlier this week, both the Mavs and Dallas Stars announced plans to move out of the urban core.
Right now, Dallas is evolving, and we're at a decision point. Do we want to continue resisting the change and the evolution that's happening? Meanwhile, cities like Plano and all of these other suburban towns are killing us because they're open for business.
Mavs minority owner Mark Cuban is also weighing in on the team's move out of the American Airlines Center. He says he's got a lot of concern for businesses there and people who live there to be close to games. You can read his full comments on this story or our website or our app. Today marks 1 week since a massive apartment explosion in Dallas. On Wednesday, the Oak Cliff community gathered to remember those who died with a silent vigil. Loved ones and neighbors remembered Sylvia Collins, Marisol Perez, and Perez's 18-month-old son, Eric. The residents displaced by the blast were also lifted up in prayer.
In the silence,
en el silencio,
we renew our commitment
renovamos nuestro compromiso
to love our neighbors
de amar a nuestros vecinos
as we love ourselves.
The explosion is still under investigation. Several residents have already filed lawsuits with more planning legal action. President Donald Trump is speaking out after Congress delivered a rare rebuke of him as he tries to strike a deal with Iran to extend the ceasefire and reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Also complicating things, a ceasefire agreement between Israel and Lebanon is on shaky ground. ABC's Olivia Rubin has the latest developments.
Today, President Trump firing back as Congress delivers a rare rebuke. House lawmakers passing a resolution to stop his actions in Iran without congressional approval.
On this vote, the yeas are 215 and the nays are 208. The concurrent resolution is adopted.
The move is largely symbolic, and Trump calling it, quote, meaningless. And to the 4 Republicans who voted alongside Democrats, he called them unpatriotic. It now moves to the Senate. It comes as the president is trying to negotiate a deal with Iran, saying it could be imminent, though he said that before.
Could happen. I mean, if it happens, and it might not happen, who knows? But if it happens, it could happen like over the weekend.
In a sign of potential progress, Israel and Lebanon agreeing Wednesday to a ceasefire. But it's a deal that doesn't involve Hezbollah. They have called it a farce and say they don't agree with any deal. The two sides trading strikes overnight. These videos showing the aftermath of Israeli strikes reported by Lebanon's national news agency. Smoke billowing into the sky. The U.S. and Iran trading fire too. New CCTV video showing the stunning moment of Iran's strike at an international airport in Kuwait Wednesday. A huge fireball erupting as the drone struck the roof of the building. Officials there saying 1 person was killed, dozens more injured. And overnight, Iranian state media reading what's purported to be a new written statement from Iran's new supreme leader, claiming the U.S. and Israel have sustained, quote, heavy blows, but he still hasn't been seen since his father was killed in early strikes of the war, and he was reportedly injured. Olivia Rubin, ABC News, Washington.
A developing story in Washington. Former Trump National Security Advisor John Bolton will plead guilty to a single count of retaining classified information. That is according to the Associated Press. The deal resolves the criminal case that charges Bolton with 18 counts of either retaining or sharing diary-like notes with family members as he prepared for his memoir. The AP reports the deal allows him to avoid time behind bars, but that punishment is ultimately up to a judge. 7 more days until the first World Cup match kicks off here in North Texas. So we're going to wait a couple more days with the first one at AT&T Stadium, or Dallas Stadium as it is known now, on June 14th. And as Natalie Haddad reports, crews are in the final stages of preparation.
North Texas is getting ready to welcome Team Sweden to North Texas. This is going to be their home base in Frisco. But here in just the next 24 hours, Team Sweden's first opponent is going to be arriving in the Metroplex. Team Czechia, yeah, they are going to land at Love Field Airport around 1 p.m. tomorrow. From there, they'll head to Mansfield, which will serve as their home base during the tournament. And as soon as this Saturday, the public has the chance to watch Team Czechia practice at Mansfield Stadium. So be on the lookout for that. Now, as the Metroplex prepares to host the game, security also ramping up. That includes a robotic dog patrolling downtown Dallas, drones overhead, and undercover officers on the ground. Officials are also preparing for the Texas heat. With many visitors possibly experiencing it for the first time, they say drones will help spot people showing signs of heat distress so help can reach them quickly. Now, maybe being outside isn't really your jam. Maybe you're not planning on going to any of the outside practices either. But if you are looking to watch the game at a nice bar, a nice pub, another restaurant, maybe with your family somewhere, at WFAA.com, we have a full list of where all the watch parties are going to be. So certainly go check it out. Truly a special time in North Texas with FIFA World Cup beginning. In Frisco, I'm Natalie Haddad.